Right. Let us discuss about radioactivity, more particularly half-life period of radioactivity and detection and measurement of radiations emitted by radioactive elements in this lecture. Then what is half-life period of a radioactive element? A radioactive element is generally characterized by its half-life period. A definition, a time required for the radioactive sample disintegrate into subunits. It is possible to calculate a half-life period of a radioactive element by using a formula called T of is equal to 0.693 by lambda. Shorter the wavelength of a half-life period, longer is the decay constant and faster is the decay process. With this, we'll go to the next slide. In the next slide, we'll discuss about average or mean half-life period. Average or mean life of radioactive element is the reciprocal of its decay constant. Right? This is the one. Go back. Yes. Average or mean life. Okay. Right. Average or mean life of radioactive element is the reciprocal of its decay constant. That is, average or mean life of radioactive element is represented T. That is nothing but 1 upon decay constant called lambda. Then we'll go to the next one called detection using GM counter. G means Giger, M means Muller. Giger, Muller are the two scientists. They invented this instrument for the identification, measurement, and detection of radioactive emits. The radiations may be alpha or beta or gamma radiations. So Giger-Muller counter was invented by H. Giger and E.W. Muller in 1928. It also called as GM counter. The GM counter is a device used for the detection and measurement of all types of radiations such as alpha, beta, and gamma radiations. GM counter is a cylindrical tube with a wire at a center, consists of a pair of electrodes surrounded by a gas. Look here, this is the center wire is called as a act as an anode, and body of the cylindrical tube will act as a cathode. That means GM counter contains electrode, and these are connected to a voltmeter, more particular high voltage voltmeter, and GM counter also contain gaseous molecules like argon or neon, or helium. Then all the nuclear radiations such as alpha, beta, and gamma radiations will ionize while passing through a gaseous medium. The ionizing property of a nuclear radiation is used for the detection. In the GM counter, the central wire acts as an anode and the body will act as a cathode. When ionizing radiation such as alpha, beta, gamma radiation enter the tube, it ionizes some of the gas molecules in tube. From these ionized atoms, an electron comes out of the atom. That means if we are using argon as a inert gas, then argon releases electron and argon converted as a cation. Then since due to the high voltage in cylindrical tube, it produces electric field because charged particle electron and argon cation move towards the oppositely charged electrodes. the electron that comes out of the atom are attracted to the positive electrode, and positively charged atoms are attracted to the negative electrode. This produces a pulse of current in wires connected to a electrode, and pulse is counted. This pulse counting is directly proportional to the radiations of the radioactive elements. Then efficiency of the GM counter E is equal to number of particles of radiation detected by number of particles of radiation emitted. Then if we are looking into the advantages, they are relatively inexpensive. They can detect all types of radiations. All types of radiations means alpha, beta, gamma. Then disadvantages, they cannot determine the exact energy of detected radiation. They have a very low efficiency. And another instrument, another method is the scintillation counter. In the scintillation counter, a solvent is used and a fluor is used, and the radioactive element. A radioactive element is in a scintillation counter. Radioactive element is there, solvent is there, and then fluor is there. Then a radioactive element emits radiation. That radiation is taken by the solvent. Solvent will undergo excitation. And when solvent is coming back, its ground state, it emits photon. That photon is taken by the fluor. Fluor undergoes excitation. And when it comes back to the ground state, it emits photon. That photon is identified and isolated by the photomultiplier. And this is passed to the amplifier. Amplifier will generate electric pulse or counts the pulse. That count pulse is directly proportional to the radioactive molecule. Then these are of two kinds. One is solid, another one is the liquid. In the solid, solvent is not used here, but instead of solvent, a zinc, sodium iodide, or naphthalene are used as a solvent. The radiation emitted by the radioactive element, it is taken by the solid sample, such as naphthalene, zinc, or sodium iodide, and goes to excitation. When they come back to the ground state, it releases photon. That photon is taken by the fluor, and fluor undergoes excitation. When it comes back to the ground state, the photon is measured by photomultiplier, and it passes to the amplifier. Amplifier counts the pulse, and this counts the pulse will be directly proportional to the radiation emitted by the radioactive element. This is what happening in the solid scintillation. When it comes to the liquid scintillation, here the sample and fluor are both are in one place. When radioactive element emits the radiation and those radiation enters the sample, a mixture of sample and fluor, then initially sample takes the radiation and it will goes to excitation. When it comes back, emits radiation. That radiation is taken by the fluor. Fluor undergoes excitation. When it comes back to the ground state, emits photons. That photon is taken by the high volt, is measured by the photomultiplier, and amplifier will count the pulse. This count is directly proportional to the radiations of the radioactive element. This is again the difference between the solid and liquid scintillation. In the solid scintillation, a solid sample is used, and this sample undergoes excitation, emits photons. That photons taken by the fluor. Fluor undergoes excitation, emits photon, and that photon is counted by the photomultiplier, and this is seen in amplifier as a pulse, and it is called as a count. That count is directly proportional to the radiations of the radioactive compound. Similarly, in the liquid scintillation counter, both fluor and solvent are placed in one chamber. When the radioactive element emits radiation and the radiation enters to the sample, this sample here solvent plus fluor is there. Solvent takes the radiations from the radioactive, undergoes excitation. When it comes back, photons are released. That photons taken by the uh, fluor undergoes excitation. When it comes back to ground state, it emits photons. That photons count is done by photomultiplier, and amplifier will pulse count makes it. That pulse count is directly proportional to the radioactive radiations of the radioactive element. These are about the difference between the solid and the liquid scintillations. And this is again information about the solid and the liquid scintillation. This is a general process. And this is again here the difference between the GM counter and the scintillation counter. In the GM counter, the inert gas present in a cylindrical tube undergoes ionization, emits electron and positively charged inert gas. Since there is a high voltage in the cylindrical tube, the charged particle means argon. If you are using argon as a inert gas, argon cation and the electron move towards oppositely charged electrodes. Because of the movement, electric pulse is generated. That electric pulse is directly proportional to the radioactive emission of radioactive element. That means in GM counter, ionization is the concept involved, and in the scintillation counter, excitation phenomena is involved. That means the sample undergoes excitation. When it comes back, it emits a photon. That photon is recorded in photo multiplier. Okay, at this stage, I will stop today, and in the next class, I will continue